Hello, everybody. Sorry, just trying to situate myself here because this computer has been acting up a little bit, but um, I think we got it now. How is everyone tonight? Glad that you guys are all here tonight. And I think some of you are rather anxious to hear what we got going on tonight. So let's do some quick shout outs here. We got Carissa, we have Suzanne Taylor, Chula Hickson. Um, okay, we got people talking to each other. Hello, Miss Linda Denton. Miss Jackie is here. Steve Norman Kaufman is here. Jim Bennett is here. Hello, Jim. Suzanne Taylor is here. Let's see who else is here. We got Miss Irish Sail Lady. That's Linda here. And I don't have a favorite pattern, but I enjoy all star blocks. Okay. All right. So what are we up to tonight? Here is what is going to happen. Now, as most of you already know, or if you were here last weekend, you know about this. We had a crafting supply giveaway in which, well, to my surprise, I actually received about 30 people, 30 different people that try to win certain types of crafts. These were yarns, they were knitting needles, a whole bunch of thread, patterns, a whole mishmash of different crafting supplies. And so throughout the week or throughout this past week, people have been emailing me their wish list. And to my surprise, there was about 30 people that actually tried to get things. And well, that was a lot more than I actually expected. So there is more things. Well, the one thing I haven't gone through is all the fabric, and there is good reason as to why I'm not going through that just yet, because here's the thing. Now, for those of you who don't know the story behind all of this, just to reiterate once more, a friend of mine, a former coworker, his mother had passed away, and she was a quilter and crafter, but he didn't know what to do with all of her crafting supplies. So he decided to, he asked me if I wanted to take it off of his hands, and I said, sure. Lo and behold, a lot of the items were crafting supplies that I don't really necessarily need or use. Things like crochet needles, a lot of yarn, and a lot of sewing patterns as well. So I kind of went through some of it, and I decided to just kind of give it away to people. And again, last weekend we showcased all of the items that were going to be given away, except the fabric. And so tonight we'll be announcing some of the winners of that giveaway. But here's the thing. Here is the real reason why I didn't include the fabric stash on this go round. Because take a look at this. This is a quilt top. From what I know, this quilt top was actually supposed to be given to one of the grandchildren. And I mean, it's very, very yellow, very pretty. But I wanted to, as a gift to my friend, who, again, his mother this is all of her stuff. I wanted to finish this particular quilt top, but I needed to make sure that we had enough fabric because it's not completely done yet. So It's it's a beautifully and well, it's a very well done quilt top, I should say. So let me switch it over to the overhead camera so that we can take a look at the block, because when I saw this, I said, wow. Sorry, let me get rid of that message there. Whoops. So it's this economy block, or the square in the square, and there's also this rectangle there. And when you look at the entire block, it kind of looks like there's a star here, or there's various things kind of going on with this. There's even a smaller square in a square here at the bottom. So as a way of saying thank you, and in remembrance of my friend's mother, I figure I wanted to finish this up for her and give it back to the family, just so that they would have this to remember her by. So this again is the primary reason why I didn't give away any of the fabric on this go round, because again I wanted to just make sure that there was enough fabric to complete this quilt. It is just a quilt top, so you can kind of see the back of the quilt. She really pressed these seams really well too, or she must have starched it, because these seams are flat as can be. So, but here is, well, just to give you an idea, I mean, this is one container. This is a rather large container of just scraps of fabric, in which, yes, I am going to go through this and to just decide what to give away as soon as I figure out how much fabric I'm going to need for the just to complete the quilt. And I believe there's also another quilt top somewhere in here. Is it this one? No, she got blocks made, which I can kind of figure, or I don't know, maybe put like a small table runner together. There's even, oh, look at that character. Coffee stain. So, yeah, there is fabric that I was going to give away, but then when I saw the quilt tops and I saw the incomplete blocks, I said, I owe it to this family to at least complete the quilt, and just as a way to say thank you for letting me have all of this stuff. So that's something that we can do later on down into the future. But tonight, it's all about the crafting supplies. So, here's what's going to happen tonight. I'm going to be mentioning I won't mention all of the winners because it'll take us a while to go through all of those boxes again. But I'm going to just highlight who won the most popular or the more popular items. Now, there were some items in which, it was only just one person that put in a bid for it, in which I'm going to email those individuals, because I will give them the option to just take it off of my hands, because most of those individuals actually qualified or actually won something else. And I'll give them the option that since they're the only ones that bid on these items, hey, if they want that in addition to what they actually won, I'll give it to them. Okay. Now, most of those items that were only one when, let's see, how do I say this? Most of the items in which only one person bid on that item, it was basically all the patterns. So if you feel like you didn't get anything, or if you feel like it was kind of unfair that you didn't get anything and yet somebody got two things, well, it was items that nobody else wanted anyway. So, but I thought, you know, this was the most fair or most even way that I could actually do this. And just so that you know, I did not handpick the winners. I just basically assigned everyone a random number, and I spun a wheel. And if the wheel landed on your number, well, we did it with the process of elimination. If the wheel landed on your number, you were taken out of the drawing for that item. And for each item, again, whoever put in a bid for those items, they were reassigned a brand new number. So it was totally random. I did not, as the numbers were being assigned, I didn't see who it was assigned to until we got to a winner. And so I wish I could actually show it to you live, but unfortunately, this computer does not allow for me to actually do a broadcast and then try to run a website after at the same time. So yeah. Is it a storm at sea? I don't believe it is. Actually, let me take these blocks down and we'll put the quilt up so that you can kind of see it in the background here. I should have thought of that before, because I was trying to think, oh, okay, what can I put as a background? Well, I was actually working on something else with it. But this is, I gotta say, I'm not a huge fan of yellow fabric, but this is a very nice yellow. And then you can take a really good look at the quilt itself. Okay, let's get this up. And let me get out of the way for a minute here so you can take a good look at it. I'm not sure if the yellow is coming through on the camera. Let me turn this light off for a second. Maybe that'll help. And we'll move it. So that's the entire quilt, or that's what you see as the quilt. Okay. Before I take it down, I'll take a picture of it and you can kind of see it for yourself. I know the coloring on the camera is not the greatest. So yeah, beautiful quilt, if you ask me. Okay. Okay, that quilt has been on my list here, and I was thinking maybe doing it in Tula Pink fabrics. Storm at Sea. Yeah. Not sure. Well, maybe this is a Storm at Sea. I can kind of see it. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna do. It might kind of looks like an eyeball. That's Carissa. Oh, let's see. Oh yeah, it kind of does. All right, so we're gonna announce the winners of the more popular items here tonight, and by far the most popular item was actually the personal. So it's the wood press or woody. You see me use these tools in a lot of the videos that I've done. There's the stiletto, and it's a combination stiletto and seam ripper. Okay, of course, you hear me call the seam ripper jack. And, well, I don't use the stiletto as much, but I do call it, I named it Stella. And we have the seam roller, which I call roly-poly. And let's see. The winner of this item was actually Roseanne Standish. So congratulations to you, Roseanne. I do have your mailing address, and so you will be, or you should be expecting this within the next couple of days. So congratulations, Roseanne. Okay. Now, it was pretty much all 20, there was about 29 people that entered for this. So pretty much everyone that put a bid in for this particular item. So this was the most popular item. Okay. Next one was item number, let's see, 105. Now, if in case you forgot what that was, it was these humongous skeins of yarn. 1 pound, it says on the packaging. Okay. And the winner, whoops, sorry, I know the camera went off. So the winner of these package number 105, I know he is here, so congratulations to Mr. Jim Bennett. You will be receiving both of these in the mail within the next couple days. Hope you can use this, or I hope you like crocheting, because this is a lot of yarn, but I know it'll be useful. So congratulations, Jim. Okay. Now, this particular item, I mean, just so that you know, there were about 10 people that wanted all the same thing. So, yeah, got it, Jim. It's yours. Okay. Item number 203. Where did I put it? This was the mishmash pile of all of these knitting needles, and there's actually a paintbrush in here, which I'm going to just keep it in there. It's actually a calligraphy brush. So, but I don't have a use for it. I'm just going to keep it in there. I don't know if you do Asian calligraphy, but might be an opportunity to start learning. There's also a bunch of, there was a ruler in here somewhere. Yeah, I didn't want to take all of this apart and have it separated, so I just kind of kept it in there. But 203 knitting needles of various sizes. And, you know, I never did figure out what this thing is. It's called Crowning Touch. I guess it's some kind of crochet item. I don't know. But I hope whoever gets this knows what to do with that. And this is item number 302. And congratulations to Miss Nancy Guess. Guess who won? it's Nancy. So you'll be getting these items in the mail to you very shortly. Congratulations, Nancy. I better write people's names down before. Okay, so this was Nancy. And I will get Jim's name on there. Nancy, yes. Okay. Okay, what was I looking for? Item number 203. 203. This, to my surprise, was actually another popular item. There's 202, 203. Here we go, 203. And this was the pattern. You got some scrap fabrics, some templates in there, a little bit of embroidery floss, or some embroidery floss that was included in there. Originally, I thought that I was not going to include this container because this container is rather large. But if I can find a box large enough, I'll just ship it all in this one container in here. Okay, but I might just have to take all of this out and put it in an envelope or put it in a smaller box. So we'll see about that. But winner of number 203 was Miss Linda Denton. I believe she is here. So congratulations, Linda, on this. You'll be receiving this. Okay. People are congratulating each other. Okay. Let's see. Next item. Item number 401. 401. 401. The hodgepodge of whatever thread is in here. There's a lot of the Gutermann threads. We do have some signature threads. We have some threads in which I think are just kind of, well, here's a Quilt and Clark one, but these were just kind of bought, I'm assuming, at some place like Joann's. And oh, I didn't even notice there was embroidery floss in there. So, yeah, just a hodgepodge of thread in here. And the thread is actually still good because, I mean, if I tug on it, it doesn't snap. So, okay, there it broke. But, you know, you see how much effort I had to put into breaking that. So, item number 401. And we will say, I'm not sure if she is here or maybe, oh, yep, she is here because I do see someone saying hello to her. And item number 401 is going to go to Maritza. So congratulations, Maritza. You'll get this in the mail, and you are going to get this tin to go with it too. So congratulations on that. Okay, but Maritza, pay attention to your email because I will be sending you a message about this particular, or about what you entered for, because there was an item in which you did try and get, in which nobody else put a bid on. So I'm going to give you the option of actually getting that as well. So just pay attention to your email. $404. Item number 404. This and again, the tin is going to be included with this item. It is more thread, but these are kind of mystery threads because they're in the label is actually in a foreign language in which I cannot read. Well, that one I can read as Miyako brand. I'm seeing the number 50 on a lot of these labels, so I'm assuming that means it's a 50 weight. But again, without reading or without having any knowledge about this particular thread brand, plus it being in another language, I can't guarantee it, but the thread is really nice. I mean, look at that gray. And it almost seems like it's a silk or some kind of polyester, something very shiny. And it's still in its original wrapping, so I'm assuming that it's good thread. Or maybe good for hand sewing. The winner of this, well, you might be able to just take a picture of it and then use Google Translate to figure out what the label is saying. Okay, but yeah. And the tin is also going to be included with this. And the winner of number 404 was Yolanda Reza. Not sure if she's here because I haven't seen her name pop up. But congratulations, Yolanda. You got a new case of thread. So you got that. Okay. Item number 101. And this is a box of more of that thread. Now, I'm not a crocheter, I'm not a knitter, so none of these yarns really were appealing to me, so I figured, but I know there's a handful of you out there that are crocheters and knitters, so I figured, why would I keep this? Although I do love this peach color. It's a very pretty peach color, so yeah. If I were a knitter, I would be in heaven, in which I would not be giving any of this away. But I'm not a knitter, not a crocheter. I tried learning, but let's just say it needs practice or it needs work. So item number 101, I hope that she is here. Congratulations to Miss Jody Vargas. Okay, now Jody, I will be sending you an email as well for the same reason. There was another item in which nobody actually bid on. So if you want that extra item, you'll get it. Okay? But Jody, congratulations. At least you got something out of your list that I know you probably really wanted. Okay, that was 101. Item number 103. 103. So these are some other yarns. And this one was the mishmash. Oops. Oh well. It's a mishmash of this pink yarn. There's this fuzzy yarn here. Another one of these acrylic ones. You have a Coat St. Clark, which, ooh, how's that for a deep red color? There was this gray, kind of silvery thing, and then this yarn here. Some of this was used. Some of this, like this one, I don't think it's used. So this still kind of feels like it's was never used for it. So, yeah. Item number 103. Have I been saying 301? I meant to say 103. And I know she is here. We have to say congratulations to Susan Leong, because you got this item. Susan, I will be sending you an email as well. There were a number of items in which you were the only person that bid through it. So you'll have the option of actually me including all of those other items as well. Right? But congratulations. Okay, we did 302. That was Nancy. And item number 104. This was I believe this was the last one of the yarns. In which this is the one that had a partially, I'm not sure if this is knitted or crocheted, but they started this and she didn't finish it, but I didn't want to unravel it. I figure whoever gets this might want to finish it, or they can unravel it. And we do have this, I believe this is called eyelash yarn. I know in Hawaii this is very, very popular because people like to crochet leis out of this. And there's a green one. There's a little bit left of this purple. There's a black one here. And then there's this black yarn here as well as this white here. So yeah, another mishmash of different types of yarns. Item number 104. Congratulations to Joyce Jordan. You got this package. Joyce, again, there was another item in which you were the only person that put a bid in for that, so I will be emailing you as well. You'll have the option of taking both items because I think I can fit both of them in this one box, so congratulations. Okay, and so those were the more popular items. And there were a few items in which only one person bid for it, so I will be emailing them separately to congratulate them for it. I thought somebody had won this. Sorry, I'm just making sure that I didn't miss anything. Okay, so some of the other items that were up for grabs, in which, again, I'll be emailing these people individually because they didn't have a whole ton of interest on these, and so they were the only ones that actually got it. This is item number 204. The tin is going to go with all of these items. It's just a mishmash of sewing tools. So This was claimed. There were actually a few items that were not claimed, to my surprise. That was one of them. 201. There was a winner for all of this thread here, in which there was the only person that put the bid in for it. So, yep, I'm going to include that on, and they will get another email, or they will get an email as well. Okay. But I just wanted to make sure that, sorry, I know the camera's okay. Just wanted to make sure that somebody, or that we kind of recognize some of the more popular items in which everybody was, or there were a handful of people that were all put in bids for that. And I just wanted to recognize who actually won that item. Now, this was an item that I don't believe anybody put, or I'll have to double check, but I don't believe anybody put in for this item. It was number 202. Sorry, I'm just kind of, before I put my foot in my mouth, I'm just saying, yeah, nobody put a bid for this. And that's okay. You know, it's not surprising because it's stuff that most of us quilters don't really use. Now, I kind of thought maybe I'll just donate this directly to the Goodwill or to Salvation Army, but I don't know, in the offbeat chance that somebody also did garment sewing, I just decided to include it. But yeah, so this is going to get donated to Goodwill. Let's see. $402. This is another one of those items in which, yeah, only one person, to my surprise, only one person bid on it. Or actually, nobody bid on this, so I guess we're donating it to Goodwill. It's serger thread, or it feels, I think it's serger thread, but it just feels like the type of thread that you would put on a serger. It's still good. I mean, here I am tugging on it pretty well, so yeah. This will be donated, or I don't know, maybe I'll keep it. We'll see. Item number 301. This is one of those items in which only one person bid on it, so they will be contacted for this. And I almost kept this for myself, but then I thought, what am I going to use this for? And it's a little bit too feminine for me. So, yep. So this did have a winner in which they will be contacted directly. Okay. I think that's pretty much all the popular items. So congratulations to all the winners. Again, even though I don't mention your name on here, you may have actually received something, so pay attention to your emails. But I hope, I hope everybody got what they wanted with, or I tried to, I mean, again, I tried to make this as fair as I possibly could. There's still a few individuals that were not happy with the process, and they let me know, or they suggested some things that I could do in the future to make it a little better. But yeah, one of the things that I was kind of worried, well, one of the big reasons why I stopped doing giveaways was just the fact that I always would receive complaints from various people saying that they never had an opportunity to even try for the prize, because because if I do it on a live, it's at such an unusual time that they felt like they got cheated. They also felt like because I didn't announce it beforehand, um, it was just basically every single excuse or every single reason. And I said, you know, I mean, you try to be fair and you can't please everybody, but I thought this is probably the best way I could do this because I know some people can't make it on at this hour because they're on the East Coast and I'm on the West Coast and the timing difference and whatnot. So I said, well, can't satisfy everybody, but I thought this was the most fairest way I could actually handle this. And um, we'll see. I mean, were some valid suggestions that people had. So, yeah. Okay. Well, I kind of went through that faster than I thought I was going to do it. So let's do a little bit of sewing here. Not that I really had a project plan for it, but yeah. What do you think of this quilt, though? I mean, I know the color is one thing because I know the yellow's not showing very well, but I don't know. When you see it in real life, the yellow really does shine through. Congrats to all the winners. Yes, congratulations to everyone. Good grief, I can't believe complainers. Well, I mean, it is what it is there, Mary. Can't please everyone. Yes, that's true, Kat. But I mean, you want to try your best to at least get people or try and please the vast majority of people. I mean, I know I can't satisfy everybody's needs, and if I tried, I would probably overwhelm myself with a lot of it. So you could follow the suggestions, and they would still complain if they don't win. Yeah, that's true, Jim. So, one person actually, I mean, sad to say, this one person complained that they were not able to join a giveaway on a live because they were not a subscriber to the channel. And I said, well, I mean, is that really something you can blame me for? What I mean by that is because I did put the chat on subscriber mode only, they weren't able to enter into the giveaway because of the fact that they were not a subscriber. And I put a time limit of less than 5 minutes on the giveaway. So, yeah. But, it is what it is. But I'm happy to do it for people, for at least try and do it because, you know, I want to give back to everybody since everybody shows up, since you guys show up at this crazy hour, I know for some of you. And I think it's a nice thing to have. And especially in this particular situation where, I'm not going to use half of this stuff, or I shouldn't call it stuff, but half of these supplies. I'm not really going to use it because, again, I don't do those type of crafts. So I figured instead of donating it to some stranger that I don't know, I'd rather give it to one of you who, you guys time and time again show up. Offer the support. You show up, you come and chat with me, you hang with me. And so instead of giving it up to some random person, I'd rather offer it up to all of you guys. So, but yeah. Learned a lot through this process, though, um, in which I can certainly feel more appreciative of creators. Some of my creator friends, like for example, T Quilts. You know, she does a lot of things like I believe she's doing a round robin in which she's kind of orchestrating different people to send fabrics to a group. Um, I know some of you out there, or some of you who are on right now, are participating in that. And people don't realize how much effort it takes to orchestrate that. And the issues that you have to deal with. I mean, you got different personalities. Some people just don't like to follow the instructions, no matter how many times you say it. So, but you know, she does it. She orchestrates it, and it might seem like it's how do I say it? It might seem like it's not a lot of effort on her part, but it actually really is. Um, if I sound like I'm ranting, just tell me to shut up. But yeah. I'm not a yellow person, but it's stunning work, isn't it, Suzanne? I'm not a yellow person either. Well, I'm learning to like colors that I don't normally go for. Yellow was one of them. Brown was the other one. But when I look at this quilt, and when I understand what it or the story behind it, in terms of who made it and what it was made for, because her goal was to actually give a quilt to all their children and grandchildren, in which, well, this was one of the quilts, and they had or there's a great granddaughter that was, I think she just turned 1 year old, and I think that's what this quilt was supposed to be. It was supposed to be her 1 year birthday gift. So, you know, when you think of, or when you have, or when you know the story and the reason behind the quilt, and maybe something happens to the person where they're not able to finish it, and like if the fact that I got it in one of these bins, you know, kind of just makes me want to finish it for this person as just a way to say thank you to the family for giving me all of these supplies, because they really didn't have to do all of this. And even though it's not in my normal color scheme of fabrics that I would work with, you know, because it has that special meaning, it means, or to me, when I look at it, it's that much more beautiful. Yeah. Anyway, I'm just ranting on. So, what is everybody up to tonight besides just listening to me rant? Let's see. What news can I share with you? Actually, I do have some news for you. So, I received an email today from somebody I've never met, but somebody, you know, with YouTube creators, there are a whole bunch of businesses as well as some YouTube channels in which their whole focus is to actually help YouTubers kind of grow their channel. They teach you what camera gear to buy. They teach you how to edit videos. They teach you some strategies that you can use to grow the channel and whatnot. One of the channels that I follow that is within this sort of niche, his name is Rob Wilson, and the channel or the company that he runs, they call themselves vid IQ or video IQ, and what they did or what they do is they kind of track your progress. And then from time to time, there's videos that they put on their channel to tell you like or give you tips on how to do stuff better. But this morning, I get a surprise email from Rob Wilson into saying that he's been keeping track of the growth of Treasure Heart Creations. And to my surprise, we have surpassed over 200,000 views on this channel. And I went, what? Really? It only took me about 5 years to do, but we got there. So I was pleasantly surprised to see that. I'm just ripping this apart because I sewed this fabric on wrong. I was very pleasantly surprised to see that. And I didn't even realize that we were approaching that number. So, yeah. So, thanks to all of you. We got another milestone, or Treasure Heart Creations accomplished another milestone. Took a while to get there, but yeah, 200,000 views. So thank you to all of you out there who have been supporting the channel throughout the years. Some of you I know have been here watching since day one when we did the 52 blocks in 52 weeks challenge. Oh gosh, that was crazy. I don't know. Maybe in the future we'll do another. I'll do another one, but not anytime soon. Kevin Mertz says I didn't get a notification while there for a while, so you unsubscribed and resubscribed. Okay, well, thank you. It's stuff. It's okay to call it what it is. Okay, thank you, Rhonda. Knitting baby blanket. Oh, okay. So, Jim, that yarn, I guess, is going to be very, very useful to you. Congratulations. Well, thank you, guys. Everybody's saying congratulations. Thank you. But congratulations to all of you out there as well, because you are part of the journey. So it's much your celebration as it is mine. It's our celebration. What am I saying? So that was one piece of news. The other piece of news that I kind of wanted to share, and I know people have been kind of waiting for this, I did get a chance to, where did I put it? I got a chance to talk with fellow content creator and dear friend, Miss Tiffany Groff. And, you know, a while back we wanted to do this quilt together. This is the Tula Pink Butterfly Quilt. And now that our schedules are kind of lining up and our timing is kind of coming together, we are going to do that quilt together. We are going to work on that project together. So that'll be coming up sometime in, I think she said she will be ready by mid-May or so. So, oops, sorry, just trying to readjust the chair here. That's something you can look forward to. Now, this pattern, I mean, it's not so easy to find anymore these days. So if you want to join in on sewing along with us, you got time to pick your pattern or pick up your pattern and pick out your fabrics. I believe Tiffany is going to be doing it in Tula Pink fabric. I'm going to just do my usual scrap scrappy thing. So I won't be doing it in Tula Pink fabric, but I'll just be using some of my scrap bins or scrap pieces to make some of the blocks there. So can't please everyone. Do it the way that works for you. I'm on the East Coast, so thank you, Mirza. So yeah, that was the other piece of news that I wanted to share. I did post a short video based upon a previous live in which I kind of showed how to spin the seam. And it seems like it's helping a lot of people because a lot of followers have been emailing me saying thank you for that video because it finally clicked for them. So glad that video is helping. I'm trying to see if I can make a better video of it though. So yeah, be looking for that in the future. It's not going to happen like tomorrow kind of thing, but it is something that I'm kind of working on and trying to address the bigger issue of the differences in terms of how you press your seam allowances. If you press it over to one side or do you press your seam allowance open? What's the pros and cons of all of that? So yeah. Jim Bennett says, been here since, what is this about? Okay. What is this about? I don't remember that video. Wait, I need to click on that link. Thanks, Jim. Okay. I remember. Now I remember that video as soon as I saw the one opening frame. So Jim has been here since the beginning, actually. Wow. Thank you, Jim. So, in case you're wondering what I'm sewing here, I'm just kind of sewing some random squares here. And lately, this is what I've been doing when I want to sew something but just don't want to think about it. I started going a little crazy and started collecting some small squares. These are 1-inch squares, I believe. And I've actually been using them in various blocks. So one of the blocks that I did... okay, sorry. Readjusting myself on the chair. So, like, here's one of the blocks that I was experimenting with. These are 1-inch squares, or they were 1-inch squares, and then pairing it with a 2-inch square was just playing around with stuff. So, thank you, Lizette. She's saying congratulations. Carissa says, I've been here since the beginning. I still haven't pieced all the blocks together for the 5252 yet. Don't feel bad, Carissa, because I haven't put together that top yet. And I'm actually the creator of the whole thing. So, but I do know a few people that have actually sewed together the entire quilt. And wow, they did a great job putting it together. Someone recently was just posting pictures of their version of that quilt. I forgot who it was. But she also didn't do all of the... I don't believe she did all 52 of the blocks. She just did the ones that she wanted to do, which was fine. So, Cat F says, I've been here since your third video. Wow, Cat. Thank you, thank you. Still working on my 5252. Okay. So we're in good company there, Carissa. Okay. Excuse me for a minute because I need to take a sip of water. Rhonda Barlow, she's asking, I missed it, what's the name of the pattern? So the pattern is the Butterfly Quilt. This is by Tula Pink, and it's, well, this is the second edition. She does have the original, or there is actually a first edition. This is the second go round of it. I'm not sure if the pattern is exactly the same or if there are certain blocks that are different. Okay, but I noticed that these patterns are, yeah, they're a little hard to find. So I don't know if Amazon or if there's dealers on Amazon that are still selling it. I know I got this from Soya Quilt Shop about 2 or 3 years ago. I know they don't carry this anymore. But yeah, that's the quilt there. Do, 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 do. Da, 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 da. Okay. Oh, I can share this. This was a block that I was working on earlier. It's the next, it'll be in the next video, so it's something you can look forward to. So I made this star block using a 60-degree triangle. So yeah, this particular ruler, it is from Soya. I did pick it up, and I was actually there to pick up another company's version of this ruler, and then Brody kind of saw me and he said, hey, try this one instead. So he sold me on it. And the reason I like this ruler, or what sold me on this ruler, is the grip. I mean, here I'm just putting the lightest of pressure on there, and look at how that ruler just kind of grips that fabric. Whereas on some of these other rulers that don't have that grip, I mean, they can just slide around like that. But with this ruler, there is a coating on the back of the ruler where it kind of grips the fabric, and so it doesn't take much, or it doesn't take much pressure to kind of, I mean, look at this. It's even moving the cutting mat here. Yeah, so I like this ruler a lot. In fact, I like that ruler, or the grip on the ruler, so much that I even bought a second one. So this is a 3x18 ruler, in which, I mean, come on. I'm barely putting any pressure on there, and look how it just grips the fabric, and it's gripping. It's enough to even grip the cutting mat here too. So, but I digress. So again, I am this is a video, or this block is going to be featured in a video that's coming up very shortly. I just need to edit the footage for it, but it's using a 60-degree triangle ruler. I'll be honest, I've never actually used one of these before, and I was kind of searching for ideas as to how to use it, and I said, most people just do a particular kind of quilt using this ruler, but I wanted to do something different, so I ended up making a star block out of it. Not very difficult to do, and most of all, or best of all, no Y seams on it either. So yeah, you can look forward to that video coming out very soon. Okay, but almost looks like a Jewish, or what is it, the Star of David, that Jewish star, but very pretty. So yeah. Okay, now back to my little teeny tiny 4 patches here. Hello, dear mom. Welcome to the channel. I don't believe I've seen you here before, but she says, Eric, it amazes me some of the colors you put together. They end up so beautiful. I would think they would go together, but you go for it. Or that I would think they wouldn't go together, but you go for it. You know, when it comes to scrap quilt, the more colors you throw at it, the better it actually looks. And people get very technical about having lights and darks and things, or trying to put blocks together that within the same color family. I just say, you know what? The more, the merrier, or the more, the better it'll actually turn out looking. Like with this block, I was kind of concerned that I had a lot of purple, but when I just threw it all together and just kind of say, let it go, this is what happened with it. And I'm kind of happy with it. There's scraps of green here that are thrown in. There's the turquoise. There's even this African print right there of just some tans and oranges. So, you know, don't be afraid. One of the things that I've learned personally is that when you do work with scraps, or if you like to sew a lot of small, teeny tiny pieces, this is one of the benefits of actually working with crumbs. You can kind of throw whatever itty bitty pieces and see, or just put a mishmash of colors together, and you can kind of learn how different shades of different colors work together. So for example, I mean, yeah, the purple is the dominant color in this little small piece, but there's the red, there's another green. And when I put things like this together, I just kind of learn how these colors kind of play together. I don't give any consideration whether it's a light, it's a medium, it's a dark. I just see, hey, purple or lavender, it's lavender. So, you know, it's one of the benefits of working or doing crumb quilting is, you know, you just throw different pieces of fabrics together, see what works, see what doesn't, and even if you think it doesn't work, chances are you're going to be cutting it up and or if you cut it up and put it into a quilt or make a quilt block out of it, well, this is what happens. So even if you don't think that the colors will work, in the overall scheme of things, it might just work. So, you know, I've said that time and time again, and, well, kind of live by it now. Okay. What was it doing? Carissa saying that would be a great center for Tula Pink's larger prints for the center. I didn't even think about that. I like how you think. I wish I could do that. You can do it. You can do it. Just gotta, how do I say this? Just like Miss Elsa in the Disney movie Frozen, just let it go. Yeah, even these browns, I had a hard time trying to figure out how to use a dark brown. I mean, it is brown. I don't, I know the camera kind of picks up like it's black, but I had the hardest time trying to work with a dark brown. And it was, I mean, dark brown like this, not really my favorite color. But, as I started experimenting, like putting a busy print like this, put it with the dark fabric, it kind of works. For me, it kind of works. Even if you put a dark brown with like a bright, take this pink for example, that works for me. So just experiment. Just have no inhibitions. Experiment with it, and if you feel like it doesn't work, well, just work with your scraps. And because it's scraps, no biggie. You can cut it up and put it or use it for something else. Use it for a donation quilt. In fact, this will be interesting if I put these two colors together. And then we do, let's see, let's put this one together, see how this looks. I will say I don't always get it right either. There are times in which I kind of question to myself, what was I thinking putting that fabric next to that? But you live and you learn, right? Jim says, I even use the directions that come on the panels in some of my scrap blocks. I thought I was the only one that did that. I must have learned from you, Jim. Okay, what time is it? 8:30. Really? Wow. Seems kind of felt like it was just 7:45, 5 minutes ago. Okay. Which way did I press toward the brown? So I can, so that. And I can sew these together. And we'll get the two pinks. I can sew these two together to make a little 4-patch there. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Kind of like that. Okay, but the dark brown and, well, this is a little dark with the navy blue there, but it works. Or I'm not going to toss this. I'll I'll use it for something, but you know, I should have paid attention to what I was actually putting. Maybe this square would have actually been better. Yeah, but you know, you experiment, you learn from it, um, and move on with it. Okay. Um. Oh, I don't know if I actually shared this on the channel either, but I am actually switching jobs again. So this coming Wednesday will be my final day with my current employer, and I will be starting a new position come May 1st, which is Thursday. Wow, it's already May 1st. Um, am I excited about it? Yes, very much so. Is it is it better? What is it a better company? We'll have to see. But um, happy to be uh, switching at this point. Turned out that the current position that or the current company that I'm working for now, um, well, let's just say they expected more with less pay. I'll just put it nicely as I can in that way. So hopefully it won't be as crazy hours for me. And that's also the reason why now me and Tiffany can do that butterfly pattern. So yeah. I have, let's see, Irish Sail Lady says I have a box started from 1.5 HSTs from snowballs on several quilts. I saw a wall hanging on another channel of these size squares, and now I'm on a mission, but my scrap bin is still full. Yeah. Tale as old as time. I hear so many people saying how full their scrap bins are. So yeah, that's one thing I'm very mindful of is how full my scraps. Always, always shopping for my scraps first before I go fabric shopping. Even though sometimes I can't help myself. You know what? I'm going to use up these last two brown pieces here with the gray. And sewing these tiny squares can be very addicting. Cutting these squares can also be very addicting too. But with the price of fabrics going crazy these days, hey, every little bit counts, right? And I will pop that open to spin the seam there. And let's see. Okay, this will be the last one, and we will call this alive. So, and what am I going to sew this to? Let's do a gray. No, let's just make one that is a mishmash of everything. So we'll put this on here. We'll finish up this gray one. So again, congratulations to all the winners. And for a few of you, I will be emailing you because you have a certain situation that might work in your favor. So and I will do these two. Okay. Trust me when I say this, I could do this all night, in which I'm going to stop myself after this. Not that you guys would mind staying with me all night. Well, maybe. I hope. Thank you, Donna. She's saying congratulations. Thank you, thank you. I know my new boss is very excited to have me because he's been kind of texting me, "Are you sure you can't start any earlier?" I'm like, "No, sorry. I'm not gonna put my current boss in a, well, I know I'm putting him in a bind because there's no replacement for me. And so since I was the only one that was handling the books, he's kind of up in a bind. So yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna stop myself here because I need to actually work on getting these packages prepared, and need to start editing the video for this block, in which this will be a good one. Yeah. So for a few of you, please pay attention to your emails. I will be sending out some messages letting you know that there's something else in store for you. But for the rest of you, again, I want to say thank you. We have 200,000 views, all because of you guys. So thank you guys very, very much. Want to also say thank you for joining me here tonight. It was kind of a hodgepodge of stuff, and half of it was just me ranting. But thank you for listening. Let's see if there's any last minute questions. I'll stay on for about for a little while because I know there is a delay here. Irish Sail Lady says, so I'm watching you twist the middle and cut the one stitch. The one stitch won't let the square come apart. No, this is because the stitch. That's a good question. So the stitch that I am, let me zoom in here for a second. Sorry. Focus. There, that's better. So when you see me plucking the stitches, the stitch that I'm plucking out, okay, so here is a 2-patch, or you know what, let me use a bigger square for this. Maybe you can kind of see it better. So this is just your usual 4-patch block here. When you see me plucking out stitches, okay, so let me backtrack this a little bit. First, of course, I'm going to sew 2 squares together like this. And then when I'm ready when I have the 2 pairs of these squares together, actually there is one on the machine, so let me get that one off if I can find where is my, oh well, let's just sew this together. And I will take this. Okay, so here I have 2 squares, or two pairs here. Now I got the seams going in opposite directions. So I pressed it over to one side. And what I am then going to do now, whoops, sorry, I went off camera there. So got my seams. One seam allowance is going to the left. The other seam allowance is going to the right. Nesting the seam right there in the center. And I'm going to sew my next seam right across on the top. And that's what I did with this here. So let me turn it over so that you can see the black thread. So this black thread here represents the final seam when I sewed the two patches together. Came out like this. Now the stitches that I'm plucking, or when you see me pluck out stitches, it's within this seam allowance area right there. I don't go past that seam or that last seam. I don't pluck any stitches past beyond that. It's always within the seam allowance here. If I do pluck the stitches beyond the seam or the seam allowance, that's when you'll see that the block is going to unravel, or the pieces are going to unravel. Now, from time to time, this is actually a good example in which, in order to really get the seam to open up, I do take my seam ripper and just kind of pull out the seam, or pull out the stitches just within that center section. But even when I pluck the stitches in the center section, it's not going beyond that seam allowance here. So even if I pluck it out there, the block is not going to unravel. And I've been doing it this way for a number of years. I've never had that center seam come apart either. The other common question I always get when people see me plucking that seam, that center, or those center stitches, they always wonder, doesn't that create a hole in the middle? And it doesn't, because again, the stitches that I'm plucking out are within the seam allowance area, and it does not go beyond that final seam. So I hope that helps you, Irish Sail Lady. Okay. Okay, so yeah, which is also, again, which is also another reason why I kind of want to do an updated or a better version of, or a better tutorial on how to spin your seams, because there's been a lot of questions like that. So, yeah, need to kind of clarify that. So, send in another email, Carissa, just in case. Carissa has a comment about the serger thread. Okay, did I miss it? I looked at my email I sent you, Eric. I wanted the serger threads, but I put 403 instead of 402. Okay. Carissa. Okay, I'll have to double check that. But Carissa, send me an email about that. If it is available, I'll send it to you. Just don't remember offhand if it was there. I know there was a box that nobody bid on with the thread. So, all right, guys, that'll be it for tonight. Again, thank you guys so much for joining me here. 200 views strong, so thank you guys for that. It's all because of your support of this channel, so really want to thank you guys again for that. I I certainly appreciate you guys joining me every time here. So, yeah. And we're going 200 views strong. So, thank you guys. Thumbs up. Give your own selves a round of applause. So, that is going to be it for tonight. I think going on live on Sundays might become a usual thing, but we'll see. It sort of seems like this is actually a very good time for me to come on live because there's all of you guys out there. I always thought that I would, if I did something late at night, I would be here by myself. So, nope, you guys proved me wrong. All right, guys. To all the treasure hardies out there, thank you, thank you, thank you so, so much. And you guys know how I always end things, so let's all say this together. Let's all get out there. Let's all create something. Mwah. Bye for now.